Good afternoon and welcome to the Belforge Arts Center for the Gazebo Players of Medfield's 23rd annual Summer Shakespeare in the Park production of Two Gentlemen of Verona. I'm Steve. Hey, thank you. I'm Steve, the director. You can tell because the cast gave me a hat that says so last night. Being the director means that when a cast member calls you at 8:30 in the morning and says, I just came down with COVID and it's community theater and there's no understudies, you have to figure out how to cover those parts. So this evening's performance, the part of Lucetta will not be played by Juliana Small, as it says in your program. It will be played instead by Nikki Ramshaw. And the part of Outlaw number 3 will be played by Susan Diller, not Julie. And the part of one of the musicians will be played by a collective figment of your imagination. The figment of your imagination will not be carrying pages of the script, but the other two will, so cut them some slack. They only got the part yesterday. This is the time to turn off your cell phones and small children, anything that might make noise unexpectedly. If we don't want anybody to get dehydrated, so if you need some water, you can see our friends at the Belforge Arts Center over here. They'd be happy to give you a bottle of water at no charge. We are selling these lovely pink t-shirts in commemoration of Two Gentlemen of Verona, so you can get your Barbie on. If you'd like one, you can see me over there at the table. If at the end of the program, at the end of the show, if you would like to recycle your programs, we'll be happy to take them back. You can also just bring them over here to the table with the t-shirts. As far as accessibility goes, if you go to our website, gazeboplayers.com, we have both a digital version of the playbill and pre-show notes for the differently abled community. At the end of the show, if you're meeting a cast member, don't come to them. Stay behind the yellow line. They will come to you after they've gotten out of costume. If you come across the yellow line, the crew is likely to get very upset with you because they're going to be busy trying to pick up all the equipment, especially considering that we might get some rain after 8 o'clock. We'll be done between 7:15 and 7:20. There'll be one 15-minute intermission. Get up, move around, whatever. The last song of intermission is Under the Boardwalk. So when you hear Under the Boardwalk, time to sit down again. You've already heard way too much from me. Thank you. Enjoy the show.
Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this son of York.
Wrong play.
What?
Wrong play.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. If music be the food of love, play on!
Wrong play.
Two houses, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene?
Well, at least you made it to Verona.
Cease to persuade, my loving Proteus?
Yes.
But nobody does Two Gentlemen of Verona. There's like one famous line in the entire show, and it's 3 words long.
I know, but that's what all these people came to see.
Well, okay. Do you think we should start over?
Yeah, I think that'd be best. Hey, Ben, can you play the entrance music again?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Cease to persuade, my loving Proteus. Home-keeping youth have ever homely wits. Were it not affection chains thy tender days to the sweet glances of thy honored love, I rather would entreat thy company to see the wonders of the world abroad than living dully, sluggardized at home, wear out thy youth with shapeless idleness. But since thou lovest, love still and thrive therein, even as I would when I to love begin.
Wilt thou be gone, sweet Valentine? Adieu. Think on thy Proteus when thou haply seest some rare noteworthy object in thy travels. Wish me with you, partaker in thy happiness.
To be in love, where scorn is bought with groans, coy looks with hearts so sighs. Oh, one fading moment's mirth with 20 watchful, weary, tedious nights. If haply won, perhaps a hapless gain. If not, why then a grievous labor won. However, but a folly bought with wit, or else a wit by folly vanquished.
So by your circumstance, you call me fool.
So by your circumstance, I fear you'll prove.
'Tis love, you cavil. I am not love.
Love is your master. For he masters you, and he that is so yoked by a fool, methinks, should not be chronicled as wise. But wherefore waste I time to counsel thee, that out of devotee of fond desire? Once more, adieu. My father at the road expects my coming, there to see me shipped.
And thither will I bring thee, Valentine.
Sweet Proteus, no. Now let us take our leave. From Milan, let me hear from thee of letters of thy success in love, and what news else betideth here in the absence of thy friend? And I likewise will visit thee with mine.
All happiness perchance to thee in Milan.
As much to you at home, and so farewell.
He after honor hunts, I after love. He leaves his friends to dignify them more. I leave myself, my friends, and all for love. Oh, Julia, thou hast metamorphosed me, made me neglect my studies, lose my time, war with good counsel, made wit with musing, weak, heart sick with thought. Oh.
Sir Proteus save you! Saw you my master?
Oh, but now he parted hence to embark for Milan.
20 to 1 he is shipped already, and I have played the fool in missing him.
Aye, the sheep doth very often stray, and if the shepherd be a while away.
You conclude that I am a sheep and my master is a shepherd, then?
I do.
Nay, that I can deny by a circumstance.
It shall go hard, but I'll prove it by another.
The shepherd seeks the sheep, and not the sheep the shepherd. I seek my master seeks not me. Therefore, I am no sheep.
The sheep for fodder follow the shepherd. The shepherd for food follows not the sheep. Thou for wages followest thy master for wages follows not thee. Therefore, thou art a sheep.
Such another proof will make me cry, bah!
But, dost thou hear? Gavest thou my letter to Julia?
Aye, and she gave me nothing for my labor.
Beshrew me, but you have a quick wit.
I cannot overtake your slow purse.
Come, open the matter in brief. What said she?
Open your purse so that the money and the matter may be both at once delivered.
Well, sir, here is for thy pains. What said she?
Sir, I think you hardly win her.
Why? Couldst thou perceive so much from her?
Oh, I could perceive hardly anything at all from her, not so much as a ducat for delivering your letter. And being so hard to me for bringing your mind, I fear she'll prove as hard for you for telling your mind. Give her no token but stones, for she's as hard as steel.
What said she? Nothing?
Not so much as a take this for thy pains. To testify your bounty, I thank thee. You have to stern me in requital, wherefore, henceforth, carry your letters yourself. I shall commend you to my master.
Go, be gone, to save your ship from wreck, which cannot perish having thee aboard, being destined to a drier death on shore. I must go send some better messenger. I fear my Julia would not deign my lines, receiving them from such a worthless post.
See
Verona, now we are alone. Wouldst thou then counsel me to fall in love?
Ay, madam, such you stumble not on heedfully.
Of all the fair resort of gentlemen that every day with parle encounter me, in thy opinion, which is worthiest love?
Please you repeat their names, I'll show you my mind according to my shallow, simple skill.
What thinkst thou of the fair Sir Eglamour?
As of a knight well-spoken, neat, and fine, but were I you, he never should be mine.
What thinkst thou of the rich Mercatio?
Well of his wealth, but of himself, so-so.
What thinkst thou of the gentle Proteus?
Lord, to see what folly reigns in us.
How now, what means this passion at his name?
Pardon, dear madam, 'tis a passing shame that I, unworthy body as I am, should censure thus on a lovely gentleman.
Why not on Proteus as of all the rest?
Then thus, of many good I think him best.
Your reason?
I have no other but a woman's reason. I think him so because I think him so.
And wouldst thou have me cast my love on him?
Aye, if you thought your love not cast away.
Why, he of all the rest hath never moved me.
Yet he of all the rest, I think, best loves you.
His little speaking shows his love but small.
Fire that's closest capped burns most of all.
They do not love that do not show their love.
Oh, they love least that let men know their love.
I would I knew his mind.
Where's this paper, madam?
To Julia. Say, from whom?
That the contents will show.
Say, who gave it thee?
Valentine's page and sent, I think, from Proteus. He would have given it to you, but I, being in the way, did receive it in your name. Pardon the fault, I pray.
Now, by my modesty, a goodly broker, dare you presume to harbor wanton lines, to whisper and conspire against my youth? Now, trust me, 'tis an office of great worth, and you an officer fit for the place. There, take the paper. See it be returned, or else return no more into my sight.
To plead love deserves more fee than hate,
Will you be gone?
that you may ruminate.
Yet I would I had o'erlooked the letter. Were ashamed to call her back again and pray her to a fault for which I chid her. What a fool is she that knows I am a maid and would not force the letter to my view. Since maids in modesty say no to that which they would have the profferer construe aye. Churlishly I chid Lucetta hence, when willingly I would have had her here. My penance is to call Lucetta back and ask permission for my folly past. What ho, Lucetta?
What would your ladyship?
Is near dinner time?
Oh, I would it were that you might kill your stomach on your meal, and not upon your maid. Oops.
What is that you took up so gingerly?
Nothing.
Why didst thou stoop then?
To take a paper that I let fall.
And is that paper nothing?
Nothing concerning me.
Then let it lie for those that it concerns.
Madam, it will not lie where it concerns, unless I have a false interpreter.
Let's see your song. How now, minion?
Keep the tune there still, so you will sing it out. And yet, methinks, I do not like this tune.
You do not?
No, madam, it is too sharp.
You, minion, are too saucy.
Nay, now you are too flat. There wanteth but a mean to fill your song.
The mean is drowned with your unruly bass.
Indeed, I bid the bass for Proteus.
This babble shall not henceforth trouble me. Here is a coil with protestation. Go, get you gone, and let the papers lie. You would be fingering them to anger me.
She makes it strange, but she would be best pleased to be so angered with another letter.
Nay, would I were so angered with the same. Oh, hateful hands to tear such loving words. Injurious wasps to feed on such sweet honey and kill the bees that yield it with your stings. I'll kiss each several paper for amends. Look, here is writ kind Julia, unkind Julia, as in revenge of thy ingratitude, I throw thy name against the bruising stones, trembling contemptuously on thy disdain. And here is writ love-wounded Proteus, poor wounded name. My bosom as a bed shall lodge thee till thy name be thoroughly healed, and thus I search it with a sovereign kiss. But twice or thrice was Proteus written down. Be calm, good wind, blow not a word away till I have found each letter in the letter, except mine own name, that some whirlwind bear unto a ragged, fearful hanging rock, and throw it thence into the raging sea. Lo, here in one line is his name twice writ. Poor forlorn Proteus, passionate Proteus, to the sweet Julia, that I'll tear away. And yet I will not, so prettily he couples it to his complaining names. Thus will I fold them, one on another. Now kiss embrace, contend, do what you will.
Madam, dinner is ready and your father stays.
Well, let us go.
And what should these papers lie, like telltales here?
If you respect them, best to take them up.
Nay, I was taking up for lying them down, yet here they shall not lie, for catching cold.
Come, will please you go?
Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak!
Don't go back.
Tell me, Pantino, what sad talk was that wherewith my brother held you in the cloister?
'Twas of his nephew Proteus, your son.
Why, what of him?
He wondered that your lordship would suffer him to spend his youth at home, while other men of slender reputation put forth their sons to seek preferment out. Some to the wars to try their fortune there, some to discover islands far away, some to studious universities. For any or for all of these exercises, he said that Proteus your son was meet, and did request me to importune you to let him spend his time no more at home, which would be great impediment to his age, and having known no travel in his youth.
Nor needst thou much importune me to that whereon this month I have been hammering. I have considered well his loss of time, and how he cannot be a perfect man, not being tried and tutored in the world. Experience is by industry achieved, and perfected by the swift course of time. Then tell me, whither were I best to send him?
I think your lordship's not ignorant how his companion, youthful Valentine, attends the emperor in his royal court.
I know it well.
'Twere good, I think, your lordship sent him thither. There he shall practice tilts and tournaments, hear sweet discourse, converse with noblemen, and be an eye of every exercise worthy his youth and nobleness of birth.
I like thy counsel. Well hast thou advised, and that thou mayest perceive how well I like it, the execution of it shall make known. Even with the speediest expedition, I will dispatch him to the emperor's court.
Tomorrow, may it please you, Don Alfonso with other gentlemen of good esteem are journeying to salute the emperor and commend their services to his will.
Good company, with them shall Proteus go, and in good time. Now will we break with him.
Sweet love, sweet line, sweet life. Here is her hand, the agent of her heart. Here is her oath for love, her honor's pawn. Oh, that our fathers would applaud our love to seal our happiness with their consents. Oh, heavenly Julia.
How now? What letter are you reading there?
May it please your lordship, 'tis a word or two of commendations delivered from Valentine, sent by a friend.
Send me the letter.
There's-
Let me see what news.
There's no news, my lord, but that he writes how happily he lives, how well beloved and daily graced by the emperor, wishing me with him, partner of his fortune.
And how stand you affected to his wish?
As one relying on your lordship's will, not depending on his friendly wish.
Well, my will is something sorted with his wish.
Oh, I don't
Use not that I thus suddenly proceed, for what I will, and there an end. I am resolved that thou shalt spend some time with Valentinus in the emperor's court. What maintenance he from his friends receives, like exhibition thou shalt have from me. Tomorrow, be in readiness to go. Excuses not, for I am peremptory.
Good my lord, I cannot be so soon provided. Please you deliberate a day or two.
Look, what thou wants shall be sent after thee. No more of stay. Tomorrow thou must go. Come on, Pantino. You shall be employed to hasten on his expedition.
Thus I have shunned the fire for fear of burning, and drenched me in the sea where I'm drowned. Oh, I feared to show my father Julia's letter, lest he should take exceptions to my love, and with the vantage of my known excuse, hath he accepted most against my love. Oh, how this spring of love resembles all the uncertain glory of an April day, which now shows all the beauty of the sun, and by a cloud takes all away.
I wonder, who wrote the book of love? Tell me,
Sir, your glove.
Huh, let me see. Aye, give it me. It's mine. Sweet ornament that decks a thing divine. Sylvia! Sylvia!
Oh, Madam Sylvia! Madam Sylvia!
Why, how now, sirrah?
Well, she is not within hearing, sir.
Why, sir, who bade you call her?
Your worship, sir, or else I am mistook.
Well, you'll still be too forward.
And yet, I was last chidden for being too slow.
Go to, sir. But tell me, dost thou know Madam Sylvia?
She whom your worship loves.
Why, how know you that I am in love?
Marry, by these special marks. First, like Sir Proteus, you have learned to wreathe your arms like a malcontent, to relish a love song like a robin redbreast, to walk alone like one that had the pestilence, to sigh like a schoolboy that had lost his ABCs, to weep like a young wench that had buried her grandam, to fast like one that takes diet, to watch like one that fears robbing, and to speak, puling, like a beggar. You were wont, when you laughed, to crow like a cock. When you walked, to walk like one of the lions. When you fasted, it was presently after dinner. And when you looked sadly, it was for want of money. Now, when I look upon you, you are metamorphosed with a mistress that when I see you, you hardly seem like my master.
Are all these things perceived in me?
Oh, they are all perceived without ye.
Without me, they cannot.
Oh, without ye? No, that's simple, for without you were so simple none else would. For these follies shine within you and without you, and as the world upon fire.
But tell me, do you know my Lady Sylvia?
She whom you gaze on so as she sits at supper?
Hast thou observed that? Even she, I mean.
Sir, I know her not.
Dost thou know her by my gazing on her, and yet knowest her not? What dost thou know?
That she is not so fair as of you well favored.
I mean that her beauty is exquisite, and her favor infinite.
Oh, that is because one is painted and the other out of all count.
How painted, and how out of count?
Oh, painted to make her fair, that no man counts her beauty.
How esteemest thou me? I account of her beauty.
You have never seen her since she was deformed.
How long has she been deformed?
Oh, ever since you loved her.
I have loved her since I seen her, and still I see her beautiful.
If you love her, you cannot see her.
Why?
Because love is blind. Oh, that you had mine eyes, or your own eyes had the lights that were wont to have when you chid Sir Proteus for going ungartered.
What should they see then?
Oh, your own present folly and her passing deformity. For he, being in love, could not see to garter his hose, and you, being in love, cannot see to put on your hose.
Belike, man, then you are in love. For last morning you could not see to wipe my shoes.
True. I was in love with my bed. I thank you. You have swinged me for my love, which makes me all the bolder to chide you for yours.
Last night, she enjoined me to write some lines unto one she loves.
Oh, and have you?
I have.
Are they not lamely writ?
No, man, but as well as I can do them, peace, here she comes. Madam and mistress, 1,000 good morrows.
Sir Valentine and servant to you 2,000.
He should give her interest and she gives it him.
As you have enjoined me, I have writ your letter unto that secret, nameless friend of yours, which I was much unwilling to proceed in, but for my duty to your ladyship.
Thank you, gentle servant. 'Tis very clerkly done.
Now, trust me, madam, I came hardly off, for being ignorant to whom it goes, I writ at random, very doubtfully.
Perchance you think too much of so much pains?
No, madam, so it said you, please you, command, I'll write 1,000 times as much, and yet,
A pretty period. Well, I guess the sequel. And yet I will not name it. And yet I care not. And yet, take this again. And yet I thank you. Meaning henceforth to trouble you no more.
And yet, you will. And yet, another yet.
what means your ladyship? Do you not like it?
Yes, yes, the lines are very quaintly writ, but since unwillingly, take them again. Nay, take them.
Madam, they are for you.
Aye, you writ them, sir, at my request. But I will none of them, they are for you. I would have had them writ more movingly.
Please you, I'll write your ladyship another.
And when it's writ for my sake, read it over, if it please you so. If not, why so?
If it please me, madam, what then?
Why, if it please you, take it for your labor. And so good morrow, servant.
Oh, just unseen, inscrutable, invisible, as the nose on a man's face or a weathercock upon a steeple. My master sues to her, and she hath taught her suitor, he being her pupil, to become her tutor. Oh, amazing jest! Has there ever heard a better, that my master being scribe to himself should write the letter?
How now, sir? What, are you reasoning with yourself?
Nay, I was rhyming, 'tis you who have reason.
To do what?
Why, to be a spokesman to Lady Sylvia.
For whom?
For yourself. Why, she woos you with a figure.
What figure?
By a letter, I should say.
Why, she hath not writ to me.
Why need she when she hath you write to yourself? Why, do you not perceive the jest?
No, believe me.
Certainly, indeed, sir, believing you. Do you not perceive her earnest?
She gave me none except an angry word.
She hath given you a letter.
And that's the letter I writ to her friend.
And the letter hath she delivered, and there's an end.
I would it were no worse.
'Tis as well, for oft you have writ to her, and she in modesty or want of idle time could not again reply, or for fear some messenger her mind might discover, herself hath taught her love himself to write unto her lover. Oh, why muse you, sir? 'Tis dinner time.
I have dined.
Hark, the chameleon love may feed on air, but I am nourished by my victuals and would fain have meat. Be not like thy mistress, be moved, be moved.
Good night, sweetheart, well, it's time to go.
Have patience, gentle Julia.
I must, where is no remedy.
When possibly I can, I will return.
If you turn not, you will return the sooner. Keep this remembrance for thy Julia's sake.
Oh. Why then, here, we'll make exchange.
And seal the bargain with the holy kiss?
Oh, here's my hand for my true constancy. And when the hour overslips me in the day wherein I sigh not, Julia, for thy sake, the next ensuing hour, some foul mischance torment me for my heart's forgetfulness. My father stays my coming. Answer not, the tide is now. Nay, not thy tide of tears. That tide'll stay me longer than I should. Farewell, sweet Julia. What? Gone without a word? Aye, so true love should do. It cannot speak, for truth hath better deeds than words to grace it.
Sir Proteus, you are stayed for.
I go, I come. Alas, This parting strikes poor lovers dumb.
Just a little bit longer.
Nay, to be this hour ere I have done weeping. All the kind of lances have this very fault. I have received my proportion, like the prodigious son, and I am going with Sir Proteus to the Imperial's court. I think Crab, my dog, be the sourest natured dog that lives. My mother weeping, my father wailing, my sister crying, our maid howling, our cat wringing her hands, and all our house in a great perplexity. Yet did not this cruel-hearted cur shed one tear. He is a stone, a very pebble stone, and hath no more pity in him than a dog. Why, my grandam, having no eyes, look you, wept herself blind at my parting. Nay, I'll show you the manner of it. This shoe is my father. No, this left shoe is my father. No, this left shoe is my mother. No, that can not be so neither. Ah, 'tis so, for it hath the worser soul. This shoe with the hole in it is my mother. This, my father. This staff, my sister, for look you, she's as white as a lily and as small as a wand. I am the dog. No, the dog is the dog. I am myself. So. Now, come I to my father. Father, your blessing. Now the shoe speaks not a word for weeping. Shall I kiss my father? He weeps on. Now come I to my mother. Oh, that she could speak now like a wood woman. Shall I kiss my mother? Here's my mother's breath up and down. Now come I to my sister. Mark the moan she makes. Now the dog, all the while, sheds not a tear nor speaks a word, but see how I lay the dust with my tears.
Lawrence! Away, aboard! Thy master is shipped, and thou art to post after with oars. What's the matter? Why thou weepest, man? Away, ass! You'll lose the tide if you tarry any longer.
'Tis no matter if the tide were lost, for it is the unkindest tide that ever any man tied.
What's the unkindest tide?
Why, he that's tied here. Crab, my dog.
Tutman, I mean thou lose the flood. And in losing the flood, lose thy voyage. And in losing thy voyage, lose thy master. And in losing thy master, lose thy service. And in losing thy service, lose thy coin. Why dost thou stop my mouth?
For fear thou shalt lose thy tongue.
Where should I lose my tongue?
In thy tail.
In thy tail.
Lose the tide, and the voyage, and the service, and the master, and the tide. Why? If the river were dry, I could fill it with my tears. If the wind were down, I could drive a boat with my sighs.
Come away, man. I was sent to call thee.
Sir, call me what thou darest.
Wilt thou go?
Well, I will go.
Crazy little mama comes knocking, brother, knocking at my front door. Crazy little mama comes knocking at my front door. Crazy little mama comes knocking, just like.
Sir, Sir Turio does frown at you.
Aye, man, it's for love.
Of you?
Of my mistress.
It's good you knock him one.
servant, you were sad.
Indeed, madam, I seem so.
Seem you that you are not.
Happily I do.
So do counterfeits.
So do you.
Oh, what seem I that I am not?
Wise.
What instance of the contrary?
Your folly.
What angry Sir Torio? Do you change color?
Give him leave, madam. He is a kind of chameleon.
Oh, that hath more mind to feed on your blood than live in your air.
So you've said, sir.
Aye, sir, and done too for this time.
I know it well. Sir, you always end ere you begin.
A fine volley of words, gentlemen, and quickly shot off.
'Tis indeed, madam. We thank the giver.
Who was that, servant?
Yourself, sweet lady, for you gave the fire. Sir Turio borrows his wit from your ladyship's looks, and spends what he borrows kindly in your company.
Oh, sir, if you spend word for word with me, I shall make your wit bankrupt.
I know it well. Sir, you have an exchequer of words, and, I think, no other treasure to give your followers, for it appears by their bare liveries that they live by your bare words.
No more, gentlemen, no more. Here comes my father.
Now, daughter Sylvia, thou art hard beset. Sir Valentine, your father is in good health. I have a letter here from your friends with much good news.
My lord, I will be thankful to any happy messenger from thence.
Know ye Don Antonio, your countryman?
Aye, my good lord, I know the gentleman to be of worth and worthy estimation, and not without desert so well reputed.
Hath he not a son?
Aye, my good lord, a son that well deserves the honor and regard of such a father.
You know him well.
I know him as myself, for from our infancy we have conversed and spent our hours together, and though myself have been an idle truant, omitting the sweet benefit of time to clothe mine age with angel-like perfection, yet hath Sir Proteus, for that's his name, made use and fair advantage of his days. His years but young, but his experience old, his head unmellowed, and his judgment ripe, and in a word, for far behind his worth comes all the praises that I now bestow. He is complete in feature and in mind, with all good grace to grace a gentleman.
Beshrew me, sir, but if he make this good, he is as worthy for an empress's love as meet to be an emperor's counselor. Well, sir, I have word from him that he is comes with commendations from great potentates, and here he means to spend his time a while. I think 'tis no unwelcome news to you.
Should I have wished a thing, it had been he.
Welcome him then according to his worth. Sylvia, I speak to you, and to you, Torio. For Valentine, I need not cite him to it. I will send him hither to you presently.
This is the gentleman I had told your ladyship had gone along with me, but that his mistress did hold his eyes locked in her crystal looks.
Belike that she hath enfranchised them upon some other pawn for fealty.
Nay, sure, I think she hold them prisoners still.
Nay, then you should be blind. And being blind, how could he see his way to seek out you?
They say love hath 20 pairs of eyes.
They say that love hath not an eye at all.
To see such lovers, Turio, as yourself, upon a homely object, love can wink.
Have done, here comes the gentleman.
Welcome, dear Proteus. Mistress, I beseech you, confirm his welcome with some special favor.
His worth is warrant for his welcome hither. If this be he you often wish to hear from.
Sweet lady, it is. Entertain him as my fellow servant to your ladyship.
Too low a mistress for so high a servant.
Nay, sweet lady, but too mean a servant for such a worthy mistress.
Lay off discourse of disability. Sweet lady, entertain him as your servant.
My duty will I boast of, nothing else.
And duty never yet did want his meed. Servant, you are welcome to a worthless mistress.
I'll die on him that says so but yourself.
That you are welcome?
That you are worthless.
Madam, my lord, your father would speak with you.
I wait upon his pleasure. Come, Sir Turio, go with me. Once more, new servant, welcome. I'll leave you to confer of home affairs. When you have done, we look to hear from you.
We'll both attend upon your ladyship.
Now, tell me, how do all from whence you came?
Your friends are well and have them much commended.
And how do yours?
I left them all in health.
How fares your lady? How thrives your love?
My tales of love were wont to weary you. I know you join not in a love discourse.
Aye, Proteus, but that life is altered now. I have done penance for condemning love, whose high imperious thoughts have punished me with bitter fasts, with penitential groans, with nightly tears and daily heart-sore sighs. For in revenge of my contempt of love, love hath chased sleep from my enthralled eyes and made them watchers of mine own heart's sorrows. Oh, gentle Proteus, love is a mighty lord and hath so humbled me as I confess there is no woe to his correction, no joy to his service, now no discourse except it be of love. Now can I break my fast, dine, sup, and sleep upon the very naked name of love.
Enough! I read your fortune in your eye. What was this? The idol that you worship so?
Even she, and is she not a heavenly saint?
No, but she is an earthly paragon.
Call her divine.
I will not flatter her.
Oh, flatter me, for love delights in praises.
When I was sick, you gave me bitter pills, and now I must minister the like to you.
Speak the truth by her. If not divine, yet let her be a principality, sovereign of all the creatures of the earth.
Except my mistress.
Sweet, except not any, except thou wilt accept against my love.
Have I not reason to prefer mine own?
And I will help you to prefer her too. She shall be dignified with this high honor, to bear my lady's train, lest the base earth should from a vesture chance to steal a kiss.
Valentine, what braggartism is this?
Forgive me, Proteus. All I can is nothing to her whose worth makes other worthies nothing. She is alone.
Then let her alone.
Not for the world! Why, man, she is mine own, and I as rich in having such a jewel as 20 seas, if all the sand were pearl, the water nectar, the rocks pure gold. Forgive me that I do not dream of thee, because thou seest me dote upon my love. My foolish rival, that a father likes, only for his possessions are so huge, has gone with her along, and I must after. For love, thou knowest, is full of jealousy.
But she loves you.
Aye, we are betrothed. Nay, more, our marriage hour, with all the cunning manner of our flight determined of. How I must climb her window, the ladder made of cords, and all the other means plotted and agreed on for my happiness. Good Proteus, go with me to my chamber in these affairs to aid me with thy counsel.
You go on before. I must unto the road to disembark some necessaries I needs best use, and then I'll presently attend you.
Will you make haste?
I will. Just as one heat, another heat expels, or as one nail by force drives out another, so too the remembrance of my former love is by a newer object quite forgotten. Is it mine, or Valentine's praise, her true perfection, or my false transgression that makes me reasonless to reason thus? Well, she is fair, and so is Julia that I love, that I did love. For now my love is thawed, which, like a waxen image against a fire, bears no resemblance of the thing it was. Methinks my zeal towards Valentine is cold, and I love him not as I was ought. Oh, but I love his lady too much, and that's the reason I love him so little. How will I begin to dote on her with more advice, that thus without advice begin to love her? Oh, 'tis but her picture I have yet beheld, and that hath dazzled my reason's light. But when I look upon her true perfections, there shall be no reason, but I shall be blind. If I can check my erring love, I will. If not, to compass her, I'll use my skill.
Church bells may ring, church bells may ring. Church bells may ring.
Lads, welcome to Milan.
Forswear not thyself, sweet man, for I am not welcome. I reckon this always, a man is never undone till he be hanged, nor ever welcome to a place till some certain shot be paid, and the hostess say, welcome.
Come, you madcap. I'll to the alehouse with you presently, where for 1 shot of 5 pence thou shalt have 5,000 welcomes. But, sirrah, how did their master part with Lady Julia?
Marry, after they closed in earnest, they parted very fairly in jest.
So, shall she marry him?
No,
Well then, will he marry her?
no, neither.
Well, then are they broke?
No, they're both as whole as a fish.
Well, then how stands the matter with them?
Marry thus, when it stands well with him, it stands well with her.
What an ass art thou! I understand thee not.
What a block art thou canst not.
Tell me, sir, will it be a match?
Ask my dog. If he say, aye, it will. If he say, no, it will. If he shake his tail and say nothing, it will.
The conclusion is, then it will.
Thou shalt never get such a secret from me, but by a parable.
'Tis well I get it so. But, sirrah, what sayest you? My master has become a notable lover.
I never knew him otherwise.
How so?
Why, a notable lover,
Ugh.
as thou reportest him to be.
Thy whoresome ass, thou mistakest me.
My fool, I meant not thee, I meant thy master.
Listen, my master has become a hot lover.
I care not that he burnt himself in love. If thou wilt, go with me to the alehouse.
At thy service.
My love must be a kind of blind love.
To leave my Julia, shall I be forsworn? To love fair Sylvia, shall I be forsworn? To wrong my friend, I shall be much forsworn. And even now that power which gave me first my oath provokes me now to this threefold perjury. Love bade me swear, and love bids me forswear. At first I did adore a twinkling star, but now I worship a celestial sun. Unheedful vows may heedfully be broken, and he wants wit that wants resolved will to learn his wit, to exchange the bad for better. Fie, unreverend tongue, to call her bad, whose sovereignty so oft thou hast preferred with 20,000 soul-confirming oaths. I cannot leave to love. And yet I do, but there I leave to love where I should love. Julia, I lose, and Valentine, I lose. If I keep them, I needs must lose myself. In losing them, thus find I by their loss. For Valentine, myself. For Julia, Sylvia. I to myself am dearer than a friend, for love is still most precious in itself. Ah, forget that Julia is alive, remembering that my love to her is dead. And Valentine, I'll hold an enemy, aiming at Sylvia as a sweeter friend. I cannot now prove constant to myself without some treachery done towards Valentine. This night, he intends with a corded ladder to climb celestial Sylvia's chamber window. Myself in counsel, his competitor. Now presently, I'll give her father notice of their disguising and pretended flight, who, all enraged, will banish Valentine. Of Futurio, he intends shall wed his daughter. But Valentine being gone, I'll quickly cross by some sly trick blunt Turio's dull proceeding. Love, lend me wings to make my purpose swift, as thou hast lent me wit to plot this drift.
Oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Shut up, gentle girl, assist
beseems me to lesson me and tell me some good mean how, with my honor, I may undertake a journey to my loving Proteus.
Alas, the way is wearisome and long.
A true devoted pilgrim is not weary to measure kingdoms with his feeble steps. Much less shall she that hath love's wings to fly. And when the flight is made to one so dear, of such divine perfection as Sir Proteus.
Better forbear till Proteus make return.
Oh, knowst thou not his looks are my soul's food? Pity the dearth that I have pined in by longing for that food so long a time. Didst thou but know the inly touch of love, thou wouldst as soon go kindle fire with snow as seek to quench the fire of love with words.
I do not seek to quench your love's hot fire, but to qualify the fire's extreme rage, lest it should burn above the bounds of reason.
The more thou dampst it up, the more it burns. The current that with gentle murmur glides, thou knowst being stopped, impatiently doth rage. But when his fair course is not hindered, he makes sweet music with the enameled stones, giving a gentle kiss to every sedge he overtaketh in his pilgrimage. Then let me go, and hinder not my course. I'll be as patient as a gentle stream, and make a pastime of each weary step, till the last step have brought me to my love.
But in what habit will you go along?
Not like a woman, for I would prevent the loose encounters of lascivious men. Gentle Lucetta, fit me with such weeds as may beseem some well-reputed page.
Why then, your ladyship must cut your hair.
No, girl, I'll knit it up in silken strings with 20-odd conceited true love knots.
What fashion, madam, shall I make your breeches?
Why, even what fashion thou best likest, Lucetta.
You must needs have them with a codpiece, madam.
Out, Lucetta, that would be ill-favored.
A roundhouse, madam's now's not worth a pin unless you have a codpiece to stick pins in.
Lucetta, as thou lovest me, let me have what thou thinkest meet and is most mannerly. But tell me, wench, how will the world repute me for undertaking so unstayed a journey? I fear me it will make me scandalized.
If you think so, then stay at home and go not.
Nay, that I will not.
Then never dream on infamy, but go. If Proteus like your journey when you come, no matter who's displeased when you are gone, I fear me he will scarce be pleased withal.
That is the least, Lucetta, of my fear. 1,000 oaths, an ocean of his tears, and instances of infinite of love warrant me welcome to my Proteus.
Of all these servants to deceitful men.
Base men that use them to so base effect, but truer stars did govern Proteus's birth. His words are bonds, his oaths are oracles, his love sincere, his thoughts immaculate, his tears pure messengers sent from his heart as far from fraud as heaven from earth.
Pray heaven he prove so when you come to him.
Now, as thou lovest me, do him not that wrong to bear a hard opinion of his truth. Only deserve my love by loving him. And presently go with me to my closet to take a note of what I stand in need of to furnish me upon my longing journey. Come, answer not, but to it presently. I am impatient of my tarriance.
Doop, 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 dook-a-bell, doop, doop, dook-a-bell, doop, doop, dook-a-bell, doop.
Now tell me, Proteus, what's your will with me?
My gracious lord, that which I would discover, the law of friendship bids me to conceal. And yet, when I call to mind your gracious favors done to me, undeserving as I am, my duty pricks me on to utter that which else no worldly good should draw from me. No, worthy prince, Sir Valentine, my friend, this knight intends to steal away your daughter. Myself am one way privy to the plot. I know you have determined to bestow her on Sir Turio, whom your gentle daughter hates. And should she thus be stolen away from you, it would be much vexation on your age. Thus, for my duty's sake, I have rather chosen to cross my friend in his intended drift than by concealing it heap on your head a pack of sorrows, which would weigh you down, being unprevented to your timeless grave.
Proteus, I thank thee for thine honest care, which to requite Command me while I live. Oh, this love of theirs myself have often seen, haply when they judged me fast asleep. Oftentimes have purposed to forbid Sir Valentine from her company and my court. But fearing lest my jealous aim might err and so unworthily disgrace the man, I gave him gentle looks, thereby to find that which thyself has now disclosed to me, and that thou mayest perceive my fear of this, knowing that tender youth is soon suggested, I nightly lodge her in an upper tower, the key whereof myself had ever kept, and thence she cannot be conveyed away.
No, noble lord, they have devised a mean how he her chamber window will ascend, and with a corded ladder fetch her down, for which the youthful lover now is gone, and this way comes he with it presently, where, if it please your lordship, you may intercept him, but, good my lord, do it so cunningly that my discovery be not aimed at, for love of you, not hate unto my friend, hath made me publisher of this pretense.
Upon mine honor, he shall never know that I had any light of day from thee of this.
Adieu, my lord. Sir Valentine is coming.
Sir Valentine, whither away so fast?
Please it, your grace, there is a messenger that stays to bear my letters to my friends, and I am going to deliver them.
Be they of much import?
The tenor of them doth but signify my health and happy being at your court.
Nay, then, no matter. Come, stay with me a while. I am to break with thee of some affairs that touch me near, wherein thou must be secret. 'Tis not unknown to thee that I have sought to match Sir Thurio to my daughter.
I know it well, and sure the match were rich and honorable. Besides, the gentleman is full of virtue, bounty, worth, and qualities, beseeming a wife such as your fair daughter. Cannot your grace win her to fancy him?
No, trust me, she is sullen, proud, froward, peevish, undisciplined, lacking duty, neither fearing that she is my daughter, nor treating me as if I were her father. And may I say to thee, this pride of hers, upon advice, hath drawn my love from her, and where I thought the remnants of my age should have been cherished by her childlike duty, I now am full resolved to take a wife. Turn her out to who will take her in. Let her beauty be her wedding dower. For me and my possessions she esteems not.
What would your grace have me to do in this?
There is a lady in Verona here whom I affect, but she is nice and coy, and esteems not my aged eloquence. Therefore, I must have needs of thee as my tutor, for long agone I have forgot to court. Besides, the fashion of the time is changed, how and which way I may bestow myself to be regarded in her sun-bright eye.
Win her with gifts, if she respect not words. Dumb jewels often in their silent kind, more than quick words do move a woman's mind.
But she did scorn a present that I sent her.
A woman sometimes scorns what best contents her. Send her another, never give her o'er, for scorn at first makes after love the more. If she do frown, 'tis not in hate of you, but rather to beget more love in you. If she do chide, 'tis not to have you gone, for why, the fools are mad if left alone. Take no repulse, whatever she doth say, for get you gone she doth not mean away. Flatter and praise, commend, extol their graces, That man that hath a tongue, I say, is no man, if with his tongue he cannot win a woman.
But she, I mean, is promised by her friends unto a youthful gentleman of worth, and kept so severely by resort from men that no man can have access by day to her.
Why then, I would resort to her by night.
Aye, but doors be locked and keys kept safe, that no man hath recourse to her by night.
What lets but one may enter at her window?
Her chamber is a loft, far from the ground, and built so shelving that no man could climb it without apparent hazard of his life.
Why then, a ladder made of cords to be cast up, with a pair of anchoring hooks.
Ha! Now, as thou art a gentleman of blood, advise me where I may have such a ladder.
When would you use it? Pray, sir, tell me that.
This very night, for love is like a child that longs for everything that he can come by.
By 7 o'clock, I will get you such a ladder.
But hark thee, I will go to her alone. How may I convey such a ladder thither?
It will be light, my lord, that you may bear it under a cloak that is of any length.
A cloak such as long as thine will do the turn?
Aye, my good lord.
Let me see thy cloak. I shall get me one of such another length.
Why, any cloak will serve the turn, my lord.
How shall I fashion me to wear a cloak? I pray thee, let me feel thy cloak upon me. What letter is the same? What's here? To Sylvia? And here an engine fit for my proceeding. I'll be so bold to break the seal for once. My thoughts do harbor with my Sylvia nightly, and slaves they are to me that send them flying. Oh, could their master come and go as lightly, himself would lodge where senseless they are lying. My herald thoughts in thy pure bosom rest them, while I their king do hither them importune, and curse the grace that with such grace hath blessed them, because myself do want my servant's fortune. I curse myself, for they are sent by me, that they should harbor where their lord would be. What's this? Sylvia, this night I will enfranchise thee. 'Tis true. And here's the ladder for the purpose. Wilt thou reach stars because they shine on thee? Go, base intruder! Overweening slave, bestow thy fawning smiles on equal mates. And know, my patience more than thy deserts is privileged for thy departure hence. Thank me for this, more than for all the favors that I all too often have bestowed on thee. But if thou linger in my territories longer than the swiftest expedition will get thee gone from our royal court, by heaven, my wrath shall far exceed the love I ever bore my daughter or thyself. Begone! I will not hear thy vain excuse. But if thou lovest thy life, be gone from hence.
And why not death rather than living torment? To die is to be banished from myself, and Sylvia is myself. Banished from her is self from self, a deadly banishment. What light is light if Sylvia be not seen? What joy is joy if Sylvia be not by? Unless I be by Sylvia in the night, there is no music in the nightingale. Except I look on Sylvia in the day, there is is no day for me to look upon. She is my essence, and I leave to be, if I be not by her fair influence fostered, illumined, cherished, kept alive. I fly not death to fly his deadly doom. Tarry I here. I but attend on death. But fly I hence? I fly away from life.
Run, man, run! Run and seek him out!
So ho, so ho!
What seest thou?
Him we go to find. There's not a hair in his head, but 'tis a Valentine.
Valentine?
No,
Who then? His spirit?
neither,
What then?
nothing.
Can nothing speak? Master, shall I strike?
Who wouldst thou strike?
Nothing?
Villain! Forbear, forbear!
My ears are stopped and cannot hear good news. So much of bad hath already possessed them.
Well, then in dumb silence will I bury mine, for they are harsh, untunable, and bad.
Is Sylvia dead?
No, Valentine.
No, Valentine, if not for sacred Sylvia. Have she forsworn me?
No, Valentine.
No, Valentine, if Sylvia have forsworn me. What is your news?
Sir, there is a proclamation that you are vanished.
That thou art banished. Oh, that's the news. From hence, from Sylvia, and from me, thy friend.
Oh, I have fed upon this woe already. Now, excess of it will make me surfeit. Doth Sylvia know that I am banished?
Aye, and she hath offered to the doom a sea of melting pearl, which some call tears. These she tendered at her father's churlish feet, with them on her knees, her humble self. But neither bended knee, pure hands held up, sad sighs, deep groans, nor silver-shedding tears could penetrate her uncompassionate sire. But Valentine, if he be taken, must die. Besides, her intercession chafed him so that when she for thy repeal was suppliant, that to close prison he did command her, with many bitter threats of fighting there.
No more! Unless the next word thou speakest have some malignant power upon my life. If so, I pray thee, breathe it in mine ears, ending anthem of my endless dole.
Cease to lament, for that thou canst not help, and study help for which thou lamentest. Time is the nurse and breeder of all good. Here, if thou stayest, thou canst not see thy love. Besides, thy staying will abridge thy life. Hope is a lover's staff. Walk hence with that and manage it against despairing thoughts. Your letters may be here, though thou art hence, and being writ to me, they shall be delivered, even in the milk-white bosom of thy love. Come, I'll convey thee through the city gates, and ere I part with thee, confer at large of all matters concerning thy love affair. As thou lovest Sylvia, though not for thyself, regard thy danger and along with me.
I pray thee, Lawrence, and if thou seest my man, bid him make haste and meet me at the north gate.
Go, Sirrah, find him out. Come, Valentine.
15 minutes hence is intermission. Move your bodies to a new position. To gents of Verona, this play is called So Why to Milan Did My Tush Get Hauled? Both gentlemen praise Sylvia to the skies. A woman ends their bromance? No surprise. I fear 'tis true that wives are but a curse. But I have been sent to talk about our purse. It costs us much to be with you today, and summer next you'll want another play. Our sponsors keep us going with their dough. You'll find them in your playbills. Thank them so. Their ads provide some funds for us to tap. We still need to pass the hat to bridge the gap. So dig you deep, your dollars will corral. If you've no cash, we also take PayPal. So use this time to stretch or even dance. When we return, Turio gets his chance.
I pray thee, Launce, and if thou seest my man, bid him make haste and meet me at the north gate.
Go, Sirrah, find him out. Come, Valentine.
I am but a fool, look you, and yet I have the wit to think my master is a kind of a knave. He lives not now that knows me to be in love, yet I am in love. But a team of horse shall not pluck that from me, nor who 'tis I love, yet 'tis a woman. But what woman I shall not tell myself, yet 'tis a milkmaid. Yet not a maid, for she hath had gossips, yet 'tis a maid, for she is her master's maid and serves for wages. Here's a catalogue of her condition. Imprimis, she can fetch and carry. Why? A horse can do no more. Nay, a horse cannot fetch, only carry, therefore she is better than a jade. Item, she can milk. Look you, a sweet virtue and a maid with clean hands.
Oh, Lance, by mine honesty. What news with your mastership?
With my mastership? Why, 'tis at sea.
Oh, well, your old vice still mistake the word. What news in your paper, then?
The blackest news that ever thou heardest.
Why, man, how black?
Black as ink.
Oh, let me read it then. Imprimis, she can milk.
Aye, that she can.
Ah, item, she can sew.
That is to say, can she? So,
Item, she can spin.
then may I set the world on wheels when she can spin for her living.
Hmm. Item, she hath many nameless virtues.
That is to say, bastard virtues that know not their fathers and indeed have no names.
Next follow her vices.
Close at the heels of her virtues.
Item, she shall not be kissed while fasting in respect of her breath.
That can be mended with a breakfast. Read on.
Item, she hath a sweet mouth.
That makes amends for her sour breath.
Item, she doth talk in her sleep.
'Tis no matter for that, so long as she not sleep in her talk.
Item, she is slow in words.
Villain, that's set down amongst her vices. To be slow in words is a woman's only virtue. I pray thee, out with it and place it for her chief virtue.
Item, she has no teeth.
I care not for that neither, for I love crust.
Item, she is cursed.
The best is, for she hath no teeth to bite.
Oh, item. She doth often praise her liquor.
Well, if her liquor be good, she shall. If she will not, I will, for good things should be praised.
Item. She is too liberal.
Of her tongue she cannot, for that's writ down that she is slow of. Of her purse she shall not, for that I'll keep shut. Of another thing she may, and that cannot be helped.
Item. She hath more hair than wit, more faults than hair, more wealth than faults.
Stop there. I'll have her, she were mine and not mine, twice or thrice in that last article. Rehearse that once more.
She hath more hair than wit.
More hair than wit. It may be so. I'll prove it. The cover of the salt hides the salt, therefore is more than the salt. The hair covers the wit, which is more than the wit. The greater hides the less.
She hath more faults than hairs.
Monsters that were out.
She hath more wealth than faults.
That word makes the faults gracious. I'll have her. And if it be a match, as nothing is impossible.
Then what?
Why, I'll tell thee. Thy master stays for thee at the north gate.
For me?
Aye, for thee. For he has stayed for a better man than me.
Am I supposed to go to him?
Thou must run to him, for thou hast stayed so long that going will scarce serve the turn.
Why didst thou not tell me this sooner? A pox on your love letters! Oh.
Now he will be swinged for reading my letter. Unmannerly slave that thrusts himself into secrets. I'll laughter to rejoice in the man's correction.
Do 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 cabell do 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 cabell do 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 cabell do.
Sir Turio, fear not but that she will love you now that Valentine's been banished from her sight.
Since his exile, she hath despised me most, forsworn my company, and railed at me that, I'm desperate of obtaining her.
This weak impress of love is as a figure trenched in ice, which with an hour's heat dissolves to water, and doth lose his form. A little time will melt her frozen thoughts, and worthless Valentine shall be forgot. How now, Proteus? Is your countryman, according to our proclamation, gone?
Gone, good my lord.
Good. My daughter takes his going grievously.
A little time, my lord, will kill that grief.
So I believe, but Turio thinks not so. Proteus, the good conceit I hold of thee, for thou hast shown some signs of good desert, make me the better to confer with thee.
Longer than I prove loyal to your grace, let me not live to look upon your grace.
Thou knowest how willingly I would effect the match between Sir Turio and my daughter.
I do, my lord.
And also I think thou art not ignorant of how she opposes her against my will.
She did, my lord, when Valentine was here.
Aye, and perversely she persevers so. What might we do to make the girl forget Sir Valentine and love Sir Turio?
The best way is to slander Valentine with falsehood, cowardice, and poor descent, 3 things that women highly hold in hate.
Aye, but she will think that they are spoken hate.
Aye, if his enemy deliver it, therefore it must with circumstance be spoken by one whom she esteemeth as his friend.
Then you must undertake to slander him.
And that, my lord, I shall be loath to do. 'Tis an ill office for a gentleman, especially against his very friend.
Where your good word cannot advantage him, never can your slander and damage him. The office is indifferent, being entreated to it by your friend.
You have prevailed, my lord. If I can do it, by aught that I can speak in his dispraise, she shall not long continue to love him. But say this, weed her love from Valentine, it follows not that she will love Sir Turio.
Therefore, as you unwind her love from him, lest it should ravel and be good to none, you must provide to bottom it on me, which must be done by praising me as much as you in worth dispraise Sir Valentine.
If I can do it, I shall. As much as I can effect, I will. But you, Sir Turio, are not sharp enough. You must lay lime to tangle her desires with wailful sonnets, whose composed rhymes should be full fraught with serviceable bows and vows.
Aye, the music of heaven-bred poesy is quite a force.
Say that upon the altar of her beauty, you sacrifice your tears, your sighs, your heart, right till your ink be dry, and with your tears moisten it again, and frame some feeling line that would discover such integrity. After your dire lamenting elegies, visit by night your lady's chamber window with some sweet concert to their instruments. Tune a deploring dump. The night's dead silence will well become such a sweet complaining grievance. This, or else nothing, will inherit her.
This discipline shows thou hast been in love.
And thy advice this night I'll put in practice. Therefore, sweet Proteus, my direction giver, let us into the city presently to sort some gentlemen well skilled in music. I have a sonnet that will serve the turn to give the onset to thy good advice.
About it, gentlemen.
I don't have plans and schemes, and I don't have hopes and dreams. I don't want anything since I don't have you. I don't have fond desire, and
Fellows, stand fast! I see a passenger.
If there be 10, shrink not, but down with them.
Stand, sir, and throw us all that you have about you. If not, we'll make you sit and rifle you.
My friend.
That's not so, sir. We are your enemies.
Peace. We'll hear him.
Aye, by my beard, we will. I think he is a proper man.
Then, no, I have little wealth to lose. A man I am crossed with adversity. My riches are these poor habiliments, which, if you should here disfurnish me, you take the sum and substance that I have.
Whither travel you?
To Verona,
Whence came you?
from Milan.
Have you long sojourned there?
Some 16 months, and longer might have stayed had crooked fortune not thwarted me.
What? Were you banished thence?
I was.
For what offense?
For that which now torments me to rehearse. I killed a man, whose death I much repent, yet I slew him manfully in fight without false vantage or base treachery.
Why, ne'er repent it then, if it were done so. But were you banished for so small a fault?
I was, and held me glad of such doom.
By the bare scalp of Robin Hood's fat friar, this fellow were a king for our wild faction.
Tell us this. Have you anything to take to?
Nothing but my fortune.
Fortune?
Now then, some of us are gentlemen, such as the fury of ungoverned youth thrust from the company of awful men. Myself was from Verona banished for practicing to steal away a lady, an heir, and near allied unto the Duke.
And I from Mantua, for gentlemen who, in my mood, I stabbed unto the heart.
And I for such like petty crimes as these. But to the purpose, for we cite our faults to hold excused our lawless lives, and partly, seeing you are beautified with goodly shape, a man of such perfection as we do in our quality much want.
Indeed, because you are a banished man. Therefore, above the rest, we parley to you. Are you content to be our general? To make a virtue of necessity and live as we do in this wilderness?
What sayest thou? Wilt thou be of our consort? Say aye, and be the captain of us all. We'll do thee homage, and be ruled by thee, and love thee as our commander and our king.
But if thou scorn our courtesy, thou diest.
Thou shalt not live to brag what we have told.
I take your offer and will live with you, provided you do no outrages on silly women or poor passengers.
No, we detest such vile, base practices. Come, go with us. We'll bring thee to our crew and show you all our treasure, which, with ourselves, will be at your dispose.
Already I have been false to Valentine, and now I must be as unjust to Turio. Under color of commending him, I've accessed my own love to prefer. Oh, but Sylvia is too fair, too true, too holy to be corrupted with my worthless gifts. When I protest true loyalty to her, she twits me with my falsehood to my friend. when to her beauty I commend my vows, she bids me think how I have been first sworn in breaking faith with Julia, whom I loved. And notwithstanding all her sudden quips, the least whereof would quell a lover's hope, and yet, spaniel like, the more she spurns my love, the more it grows and fawneth on her still. Oh, but here's Turia. Now must we to her chamber window and give some evening music to her ear.
Oh no! Sir Proteus, are you crept before us?
Aye, gentle Turio, for you know love will creep in service where it cannot go.
Aye, but I hope, sir, that you love not here.
Aye, sir, but I do, or else I would be hence.
Who? Sylvia?
Aye, Sylvia, for your sake.
Well, I thank you for your own. Now, gentlemen, let's tune and do it lustily a while.
Come, my young guest. Methinks you are olly-colly, I pray you. Why is it?
Marry mine host, because I cannot be merry.
Come, we will bring you where you shall be merry, where you shall hear music, and see the young gentleman that you asked for.
But shall I hear him speak?
Ah, you shall.
That will be music.
Hark, hark.
Is he among thee?
Peace, let us hear them.
Who is Sylvia? What she do at all our swains? Commend her, holy and fair, and wise as she, to heaven such grace did lend her, that she might admired be.
Is she kind as she is fair? For beauty lives with kindness.
Love unto her eyes repair,
To help him of his blindness.
and being fair inhabits there.
The hand to Sylvia.
Let us sing to our Sylvia. She excels each mortal thing on the dull earth, dwelling. To her let us garlands bring.
How now, man? You are sadder wear than you were before. The music likes you not.
You mistake, the musician likes me not.
Why, my pretty youth?
He plays false, father.
How so? Out of tune on the strings.
Not so, but yet so false that he grieves my very heartstrings.
Ah, you have quite an ear.
Aye, I would I were deaf. It makes me have a slow heart.
I perceive you do not relish music.
Not a whit when it jars so. But, host, doth this Sir Proteus that we talk on often resort unto this gentlewoman?
I'll tell you what his man Launce said to me. He loved her out of all Nick.
Where is Launce?
Ah, gone to seek his dog, which by his master's command he is to carry and bring as a present to that lady.
Peace, stand aside, the company parts.
Sir Turio, fear not you. I will so plead. You shall say my cunning drift excels.
Farewell.
Madam! Good even to your ladyship.
Thank you for your music, gentlemen. Who is that spake?
One, sweet lady, if you knew his pure heart's truth, you'd quickly learn to know him by his voice.
Sir Proteus, as I take it.
Sir Proteus, madam, and your servant,
What's your will?
that I may compass yours.
You have your wish. My will is even this, that presently you hie you home to bed. Thou subtle,
perjured, false, disloyal man. Thinkest thou I am so shallow, so conceivest to be seduced by thy flattery, that hast deceived so many with thy vows? Return, return, make thy love amends for me. By this pale queen of night, I swear I am so far from granting thy request that I despise thee for thy wrongful suit, and by intend to chide myself even for this time I spent in talking to thee.
I grant, gentle love, I did love a lady, but she is dead.
'Twere false if I should speak it, for I'm sure she is not buried.
Say that she be. Yet Valentine, thy friend, survives, to whom thyself art witness. I am betrothed, and art thou not ashamed to wrong him with thy importunacy?
I likewise hear that Valentine is dead.
So suppose am I, for in his grave assure thyself my love is buried.
Oh, sweet lady, let me rake it from the earth.
Go to thy lady's grave and call hers thence, or at the least, in her sepulchre thine.
He heard not that.
Madam, if your heart be so obdurate, vouchsafe me yet your picture for my love, the picture that's hanging in your chamber. To that I'll speak, to that I'll sigh and weep, for since the substance of your perfect self is else devoted, I'm but a shadow, and to your shadow will I make true love.
'Twere a substance, you would sure deceive it and make it but a shadow, as I am.
I am very loath to be your idol, sir, but since your falsehood shall become you well to worship shadows and adore false shapes, send to me in the morning, and I'll send them. And so, good rest.
His wretches have overnight that wait for execution in the morn.
Post. Will you go? Ah, but I had done. I was fast asleep.
Pray you, where lies Sir Proteus?
I'm Mary at my house. Trust me, I think it is almost day. Not so, but it's been the longest night that e'er I watched, and the most heaviest.
This is the hour that Madame Sylvia entreated me to call and know her cause. There's some great matter she'd employ me in. Madam! Madam!
Who calls?
Your servant and your friend, one that attends your ladyship's command.
Sir Eglamour, 1,000 times good morrow.
As many worthy lady to yourself. According to your ladyship's impose, I am thus early come to know what service it is your pleasure to command me in.
Oh, Eglamour, thou art a gentleman. Think not I flatter, for I swear I do not. Valiant, wise, remorseful, well accomplished. Thou art not ignorant what dear goodwill I bear unto the banished Valentine, nor how my father would enforce me marry vain Turio, whom my very soul abhors. Sir Eglamour, I would to Valentine, to Mantua, where I hear he makes abode, and for the ways are dangerous to pass, I do desire thy worthy company, upon whose faith and honor I repose. Urge not my father's anger, Eglamour, but think upon my grief, a lady's grief, and on the justice of my flying hence to keep me from a most unholy match. I do desire thee, even from a heart as full of sorrows as the sea of sands, to bear me company and go with me. If not, to hide what I have said to thee, that I may venture to depart alone.
Madam, I pity much your grievances, which since I know they worthily are placed, I give consent to go along with you, bearing as little what betideth me, as much I wish all good befortune you. When will you go?
This evening coming,
Where shall I meet you?
at Friar Patrick's cell, where I intend holy confession.
I will not fail your ladyship. Good morrow, gentle lady.
Good morrow, kind Sir Eglamour.
Pretty little angel eyes, pretty little angel eyes.
I brought up of a puppy, one that I saved from drowning when 3 or 4 of his blind brothers and sisters went to it. I was sent to deliver him as a present to Mistress Sylvia by my master. I came no sooner to the dining chamber, but he steps me to her trencher and steals her capons leg. Oh, 'tis a foul thing when a cur cannot keep himself in all companies. If I had not more wit than he to take a fault upon me than he did, I think verily he'd be hanged for it. Sure as I live, he had suffered for it. You shall judge. He thrust me himself into the company of 3 or 4 gentleman-like dogs under the Duke's table. He had not been there, bless the mark, pissing a while, well, all the chamber smelt him. Out with the dog, says one. What cur is that, says the next. Hang him up, says a third. Whip him out, says the Duke. I, having been acquainted with the smell before, knew it was Crab, goes me to the fellow that whips the dogs. Friend, quoth I, do you mean to whip the dog? Aye, marry I do, quoth he. You do him the more wrong, quoth I, for 'twas I who did the thing you wot of. He makes no more ado, but whips me out of the chamber. How many masters would do this for his servant? Nay, I have stood in the stocks for puddings he has stolen. Otherwise, he had been executed. I have stood in the pillory for geese he hath killed. Otherwise, he had suffered for it. Now think not of this now. Nay, I remember the trick you served on me when I took my leave of Madame Sylvia. Did I not bid thee mark me and do as I do? When did thou seest me heave up my leg and make water against a gentlewoman's further guilt? Did thou ever see me do such a trick?
Sebastian is thy name? I like thee well, and will employ thee in some service presently.
In what you please. I'll do what I can.
I hope thou wilt. How now, you whoreson peasant? Where have you been these 2 days? Loitering?
Mary, sir, I brought Mistress Sylvia the dog you made me.
Oh, what says she to my little jewel?
Mary, she says your dog is a cur and tells you cur thanks is good enough for such a present.
But she received my dog.
Nope, indeed she did not. Here. I have brought him back again.
Oh, what? Didst thou offer her this from me?
I, sir, the other squirrel was stolen from me in the marketplace by the hangman boys, so I offered her up my own, who was a dog as big as 10 of yours, and therefore to keep the greater.
Go, get thee hence, and find my dog again, or else never return again into my sight. Go, what stayest thou to vex me here? A slave that still an end turns me to shame. Sebastian, I have entertained thee partly that I have need of such a youth that can with some discretion do my business, for 'tis no trusting yon foolish lout, but chiefly for thy face and thy behavior, which, if my augury deceive me not, witness good bringing up, fortune, and truth. Therefore know thou, for this I entertain thee. Here go you presently, and take this ring with thee. Deliver it, Madame Sylvia. She loved me well, delivered it me.
It seems you loved not her to leave her token. She is dead, belike?
Not so, I think she lives.
Alas.
Why dost thou cry, alas?
I cannot choose but pity her.
Wherefore shouldest thou pity her?
Because methinks that she loved you as well as you do love your lady Sylvia. She dreams of him that has forgot her love. You dote on her that cares not for your love. 'Tis pity love should be so contrary, and thinking of it makes me cry, alas.
Well, take this ring, and therewithal this letter. Deliver it to Madame Sylvia, that's her chamber. Tell my lady I claim the promise of her heavenly picture, thy message done hie home unto my chamber, where thou shalt find me, sad and solitary.
How many women would do such a message? Alas, poor Proteus, thou hast entertained a fox to be the shepherd of thy lambs. Alas, poor fool! Why do I pity him that with his very heart despiseth me? Because he loves her, he despiseth me. Because I love him, I must pity him. This ring I gave him when he parted from me to bind him to remember my goodwill. And now am I, unhappy messenger, to plead for that which I would not obtain, to carry that which I would have refused, to praise his faith which I would have dispraised. I am my master's true confirmed love, but cannot be true servant to my master unless I prove false traitor to myself. Yet will I woo for him, but yet so coldly, as heaven it knows I would not have him speed. Gentlewoman, good day, I pray you, be my mean to bring me where to speak with Madam Sylvia?
What would you with her, if that I be she?
If you be she, I do entreat your patience to hear me speak the message I am sent on.
From whom?
From my master, Sir Proteus, madam.
Oh. He sends you for a picture.
Aye, madam.
Go. Give your master this. Tell him from me, one Julia that his changing thoughts forget would better fit his chamber than this shadow.
Madam, please you peruse this letter. Pardon me, madam, I have unadvised and delivered you a paper that I should not. This is the letter to your ladyship.
I pray thee, let me look at that again.
It may not be, good madam. Pardon me.
There, hold. I will not look upon your master's lines. I know they are stuffed with protestations and full of newfound oaths, which he will break as easily as I do tear his paper.
Madam, he sent your ladyship this ring.
The more shame for him that he sends it me. For I have heard him say 1,000 times, his Julia gave it him at his departure. Though his false finger have profaned the ring, mine shall not do his Julia so much wrong.
She thanks you.
What sayest thou?
I thank you, madam, that you tender her. Poor gentlewoman, my master wrongs her much.
Dost thou know her?
Almost as well as I do know myself. To think upon her woes, I do protest that I have wept 100 several times.
Belike she thinks that Proteus hath forsook her.
I think she doth, and that's her cause of sorrow.
Is she not passing fair?
She hath been fairer, madam, than she is. When she did think my master loved her well, she, in my judgment, was as fair as you. But since she did neglect her looking glass and threw her sun-expelling mask away, the air had starved the roses in her cheeks and pinched the lily tincture of her face.
How tall is she?
About my stature. For at Pentecost, when all the pageants of our delight were played, our youth got me to play the woman's part, and I was trimmed in Madame Julia's gown, which served me as fit by all men's judgments as if the garment had been made for me. Therefore I know she is about my height.
Alas, poor lady, desolate and left. I weep myself to think upon thy words. Here, youth, there is my purse. I give thee this for thy sweet mistress' sake, because thou lovest her. Farewell.
She shall thank you for it, if e'er you know her. Virtuous gentlewoman, mild and beautiful. I hope my master's suit will be but cold, since she respects my mistress's love so much. Here's her picture. Let me see. If I had such attire, this face of mine were full as lovely as is this of hers. And yet, the painter flattered her a little. Unless I flatter with myself too much. What should it be that he respects in her, but I can make respective in myself, if this fond love were not a blinded god? Come, shadow, come and take this shadow up, for 'tis thy rival. O thou senseless form,
Thou shalt be worshipped, kissed, loved, and adored, and with her sense in his idolatry, my substance should be statue in thy stead. I'll use thee kindly for thy mistress's sake that used me so. Or else, by Jove, I vow I should have scratched out your unseeing eyes to make my master out of love with thee.
Dang dang dang, ding a dong ding, blue moon, moon, blue moon.
The sun begins to gild the western sky, and now it is about the very hour that Sylvia at Friar Patrick's cells should meet me. She will not fail, for lovers break not hours, unless it be to come before their time. So much they spur their expedition. See where she comes. Lady, a happy evening.
Amen, amen. Go on, good Eglamour, out of the postern by the abbey wall. I fear I am attended by some spies.
Oh, fear not. The forest is not 3 leagues off. If we recover that, we are sure enough.
Sir Proteus, what says Sylvia to my suit?
Oh, sir, I find her milder than she was, and yet she takes exceptions at your person.
What says she to my face?
She says it's a fair one.
How likes she my discourse?
Ill when you talk of war.
But, well, when I discourse of love and peace?
But better indeed when you hold your peace.
What says she to my valor?
Oh, sir, she makes no doubt of that.
She needs not when she knows it's cowardice.
What says she to my birth?
That you are well derived.
True, from a gentleman to a fool.
Consider she my possessions.
Oh, aye, and pities them.
Wherefore?
Such an ass should owe them.
That they are out by lease.
How now, Sir Proteus? How now, Turio? Which of you saw Sir Eglamour of late?
Not I.
Nor I.
Saw you my daughter?
Neither.
Then she is fled unto that peasant Valentine, and Eglamour is in her company. 'Tis true, for Friar Lawrence met them both as he in penance wandered through the forest. Him he recognized and thought it was she, but being masked he was not sure of it. Besides, she did intend confession at Patrick's cell this even, and there she was not. These likelihoods confirm her flight from hence. Therefore, I pray you stand not to discourse, but mount you presently, and meet with me at the rising of the mountain foot which leads to Mantua. Dispatch, sweet gentlemen, and follow me.
Why, this it is to be a peevish girl that flies her fortune when it follows her. All after, more to be revenged on Eglamour than for the love of reckless Sylvia.
And all after, more for love of Sylvia than hate of Eglamour that goes with her.
And I will follow, more to cross that love than hate for Sylvia that is gone for love.
Come, be patient. We must bring you to our captain.
1,000 more mischances than this one have learned me how to brook this patiently.
Where is the gentleman that was with her?
Being nimble-footed, he hath outrun us. Go down with her to the west end of the wood. There is our captain. We'll follow him that has fled. The thicket is beset. He cannot escape.
Come, I'll bring you to our captain's cave. Fear not. He bears an honorable mind and will not use a woman lawlessly.
Oh, Valentine, this I endure for thee.
How use doth breed a habit in a man, this shadowy desert, unfrequented wood? I better brook than flourishing people towns. Here can I sit, alone, unseen of any, and to the nightingale's complaining notes tune my distresses and record my woes. Repair me with thy presence, Sylvia, thou gentle nymph, cherish thy forlorn swain.
Sylvia!
wig and stir is this today? These are my mates that make their wills their law, have some unhappy passenger in chase. They love me well, yet I have much to do to keep them from uncivil outrages. Withdraw thee, Valentine. Who's this comes here?
Madam, the service I have done for you, that though you respect not aught, your servant doth to hazard life and rescue you from him that would have forced your honor and your love. Vouchsafe me for my meed but one fair look. A smaller boon than this I cannot beg, and less than this I'm sure you cannot give.
How like a dream is this I see and hear? Love, lend me patience to forbear a while.
Miserable, unhappy that I am.
Unhappy were you, madam, ere I came, but by my coming I've made you happy.
By thy approach, thou makest me most unhappy.
And me, when he approacheth to your presence.
Had I been seized by a hungry lion, I would have been a breakfast to the beast, rather than have false Proteus rescue me. Oh, heaven be judge! How I love Valentine! His life's as tender to me as my soul. Full as much, for more there cannot be. I do detest false, perjured Proteus. Therefore be gone. Solicit me no more.
What dangerous action stood it next to death would I now undergo for one calm look? Oh, 'tis the curse in love and still approved when women cannot love where they're beloved.
When Proteus cannot love where he is beloved, reign over Julia's heart. My first, best love, for whose dear sake thou didst then rend thy faith into 1,000 oaths, and all those oaths descended into perjury to love me. Thou hast no faith left now, unless thou'dst two. And that's far worse than none. Better have none than plural faith, which is too much by one. Thou counterfeit to thy true friend.
In love, who respects friend?
Oh, men, but Proteus.
Ruffian! Let go that rude uncivil touch, thou friend of an ill fashion.
Valentine!
Thou common friend, that's without faith or love, for such is a friend now, treacherous man. Thou hast beguiled my hopes. Naught but mine eyes could have persuaded me. Now I dare not say I have one friend alive. Thou wouldst disprove me. Who should be trusted when one's own right hand is perjured to the bosom? Proteus, I am sorry. I must never trust thee more, but count the world a stranger for thy sake. Oh, the private wound is deepest. Oh, time most cursed, that amongst all foes, a friend should be the worst.
My shame and guilt confounds me. Oh, forgive me, Valentine. If hearty sorrow be a sufficient ransom for offense, I tender it here. I do as truly suffer as ere I did commit.
Then I am paid, and once again I do receive the honest.
Oh, good sir, you charged me to deliver a ring to Madame Sylvia, which, out of my neglect, was never done.
Oh, let me see that ring, boy.
Here it is. This is it.
How? Let me see. Why, this is the ring I gave to Julia.
Oh, cry you mercy, sir. I have mistook. This is the ring you sent to
But
Sylvia.
how came you by this ring? At my depart, I did give it unto Julia.
And Julia herself did give it me. And Julia herself hath brought it hither.
Oh, Julia! Oh.
Behold her that gave aim to all thy oaths and entertained him deeply in her heart. How oft hast thou with perjury cleft the root?
Well,
oh, Proteus, let this habit make thee blush. Be thou ashamed that I have took upon me such an immodest raiment. If shame live in a disguise of love, it is the lesser blot modesty finds. Women to change their shapes, than men their minds.
oh, then men their minds, 'tis true. Oh, heaven, if man were but constant, he were perfect. That one error fills him with faults, makes him run through all the sins. Inconstancy falls off ere it begins. But what is in Sylvia's face? But I may spy more fresh in Julia's with a constant eye.
Come. Let me be blessed to make this happy close. 'Twere pity two such friends should be long foes.
Bear witness, heaven, I have my wish forever.
And I mine.
Forbear, I say. It is my lord the Duke. Your grace is welcome to a man disgraced, banished Valentine.
Sir Valentine!
Yonder is Sylvia, and Sylvia's mine.
Curio, give back, or else embrace thy death. Come not within measure of my wrath. Do not name Sylvia thine, if once again Verona shall not hold thee. Here she stands. Take but possession of her with a touch. I dare thee but to breathe upon my love.
Sir Valentine, I care not for her eye. I hold him but a fool that will endanger his body for a girl that loves him not. I claim her not, and therefore she is thine.
The more degenerate and base art thou, to have made such means for her as thou hast done, and then leave her on such slight conditions? Now, upon the honor of my ancestry, I do applaud thee for thy spirit, Valentine, and know thee worthy for an empress's love. Know then, here I forget all former griefs, cancel all charges, repeal thee home again, and plead a new state to thy unmitigated valor, which I now subscribe. Valentine, thou art a gentleman and well derived. Take thou thy Sylvia, for thou hast deserved her.
I think your great a gift hath made me happy. I beseech you, for your daughter's sake, to grant one boon that I shall ask of you.
I grant it for thine own, whate'er it be.
These banished men that I have kept withal are men endued with worthy qualities. Forgive them what they have here committed, and let them be recalled from their exile, for they are civil, reformed, full of good, and fit for great employment, worthy lord.
Thou hast prevailed. I pardon them and thee. Come, let us go and include all jars to triumphs, mirth, and rare solemnity.
And as we walk along, I dare be bold with our discourse to make your grace to smile. What thinkest thou of this page, my lord?
I think the boy hath grace in him. He blushes.
I warrant you, more grace than boy.
What means he by that saying?
I'll tell you, as we pass along, I will tell you that you will wonder what hath fortuned. Come, Proteus, 'tis your penance but to hear the story of your loves discovered. That done, our day of marriage shall be yours. One feast, one house, one mutual happiness.
Dum 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 be dooby dum 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 be dooby dum 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 be dooby dum wow 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 dum 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 be dooby dum 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 be dooby dum 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 be dooby dum wow 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 well love love it darling done.